Hi everybody, it's Flex, or TG, or Tony. Take your pick, they're all me. This is kind of a special video for me. I need to warn everybody first, there's going to be some very graphic topics discussed, some very disturbing stuff, and if you're kind of sensitive or don't want to go through someone's story of suicide, then you probably should stop now. Because that's what this story is about, is my spiral downward and my destruction of my mental capacity to the point of suicide. I suppose we need a little bit of history. Nobody really knows me. You know Flex. I've been bipolar since my teens. I'm an alcoholic. I smoke marijuana and have since I was young. I'm umming a lot. This is a hard one. I partied. I had lived a promiscuous life as a youngster. My teens were a wasteland. And then I met my wife in school back in 91. And we got married. We were together for about 22 years. During that time, I fucked up totally. I'm bipolar type 1 with psychotic tendencies. I have anxiety disorder. I have panic attacks. I have PTSD. It was all untreated, and my wife took all the abuse. And then we had a child, and it affected her. And in addition to that, along the way, I became addicted to prescription painkillers severely, which I am off of now. But it destroyed my marriage and my relationship with my daughter. And that's all on me. So that's the back setup. At the point that my wife was moving herself and my daughter away from me, I was moving back to Austin and moving in with my mom. My mom was in the early stages of Alzheimer's and dementia. Bad idea to put two vulnerable adults together. It didn't work out. For 3 years, we suffered between each other trying to survive until my mother eventually, at the beginning of last year, started to have seizures. No matter how excited I got or how disturbed I got or how bad they got, I couldn't seem to get the fucking family to understand what was going on and what it was doing to me and her. They just wanted to bury their fucking heads in the sand. And the only thing I got from my sibling was, well, you'll have to move out and you'll have to be on your own. Thanks for the help and encouragement, sis. So anyway, my mom ended up going into a home because she came upstairs one day and beat on my shoulders to the point that I had to go to the emergency room because I thought she dislocated my fake shoulder. I called my sister. My sister came to town, kidnapped my mom and the dog, and put my mom in a home in Owatonna instead of Austin. That pretty much spelled it out for me. Then she told me I had a week to get out of the house. What the fuck? Well, at any rate, we settled on a month. I come to the day that I want to move out, and she shows up at 6 o'clock in the fucking morning and kicks the door in. Oh, I thought you were moved. Yeah, with no help. So then all of our relatives come. I'm totally fucking off the hook pretty much at this point. I'm starting to break down. None of them helped me move. I have a fake shoulder. I'm having chest pains and didn't know at the time I was having a heart attack. I moved my stuff. I got out, and I haven't talked to him since. 3 weeks later, I had a heart attack and ended up at St. Mary's. I had to have a stent put in and a blockage removed. I called my sibling. She was totally uncaring and totally blank. So I disown her. I don't need the negative bullshit, and I disown that whole side. I don't need any other bullshit either. What I need is for me to work on me and to be healthy. So with those things under my belt, I was in an apartment. I got back from having the heart attack. At the time I was working at GameStop. Started out as a great job. It's kind of like heroin. You fall asleep next to a beauty and you wake up next to a monster. My boss's boss was a fucking asshole and is an asshole. And anytime, dude, they're driving those businesses into the ground and they're using shady techniques. So, GameStop. At any rate, that was a factor in my demise. And so I was traveling along after the heart attack over the summer, basically manic. For those of you that don't understand bipolar, there's two switches to it. One's mania, where you're like off the hook, crazy, going all over the place. The other one's depression, where you sleep all the time. I spent the entire summer manic. And one thing after another just seemed to lead me down this road until I got to August 4th. I went out to GameStop and turned in my keys. Now, from that point on, I do not have much of a memory. The mania erased it. We've worked on it. We're working on digging out what I did. I don't know. I can say leading up to the event that there were 3 weeks previous to my actual attempt, or I should say my second attempt, I attempted and showed up at the ER in Austin. I was injured and a doctor fought with me. And we got into a shouting match about whether or not I was suicidal until finally I told him, fuck you, I am. And then a security guard showed up because it was so loud, and then he left. I never saw him again, and then their option was to send me to Hibbing that night. I told him to get fucked and turn me loose. So I walked 2 blocks away, laid down on the street, and waited for a car to run me over. And when one didn't, I walked home. And I stumbled through 3 more weeks, and flash forward to, I gotta look at the actual date, August 7th. I came completely unhinged. I tried to take a handful of Vicodin, Klonopin, and Ativan, which are all downers. Didn't kill me. I was going to jump out the window of my apartment. But then I decided I'd try and cut my arm off and bleed out because I was on Plavix, blood thinner. Fortunately, at this point, intervention was achieved. My ex-wife Shelby texted me and basically talked me out of it. I ended up with a nick on my arm instead of cutting my arm off. I saw an apparition of my daughter when I drew the knife back when I hit my arm, and it stopped me. Otherwise, I'd be dead. So I walked over to the hospital, and I checked my ass in, and I stayed for 8 days and got some help. When I checked into the hospital, I weighed 158 pounds. I'm 6'2". I hadn't eaten for 3 weeks. I hadn't taken my cancer medicine for a month. And I was sporadically taking my bipolar meds. I was almost dead. It doesn't have to go this far. We all have friends. If we don't, there's people to reach out to. You would hope that when you started going up around the corner, your friends would notice what was going on, but not everybody knows what to look for. I blame no one. However, I did write an early suicide note, and I sent it to 3 people, and they know who they are, and none of them acted on it. That's not good. I can understand if you have problems in your world, but when someone basically sends you a suicide note, I mean, and 2 of them were the professionals that I dealt with for my mental health care. So, but it was a nasty spiraling process. It was painful. Uh, I can't, I couldn't explain to you all the things that happened because I don't remember. But fortunately, getting back to life, when you're so low that you don't feel like living, there's no direction, nobody loves you, nobody hugs you, you get the feeling there's no reason to continue. That's where I was at. I wasn't using my meds right. I wasn't using coping skills. And it almost cost me my fucking life. So please, if you need help, get it. There's nothing to be ashamed of, man. It can happen to anybody. Fortunately for me, my ex-wife and my daughter were my rocks. They love me. They want me. They love me. And I want them, and I love them. I love them more than anything. They saved my life. And now I'm where I need to be with my family. So, this is just a little bit about what's been going on. I hope this helps some people if you're contemplating suicide, or if you think it's not worth it anymore. It is. There's a reason you've been here this long. Please stay. Please stay. Thank you. Hi, it's Tony. I just wanted to flip out a little bit here too. If anybody would like me to do more videos, I certainly can. I've got a lifetime of experiences with this shit. If anybody needs help, I'll put some information in the bio, or well, they're going to take away annotations, so I'll put some information in the bio where you can get help or get a hold of me even. But let me know if you want more of these. I mean, I'll do them up. Thank you.